When you look at Joe Biden, I am absolutely convinced that there really is only two possibilities, right? Either Joe Biden is the world's most accomplished liar, or the guy is just a shell. He is an empty vessel who is literally being completely used by his radical handlers. Handlers who, to their credit, they found a way to literally buy a president. Personally, I think it's a little from column A and a little from column B, right? But this is where we're at, man. Yes, our president is a terrible, terrible liar. No, there is not anything at all that he won't do for power. But what really is going on here? I think that the way he is actually governed, it can only show that he's being used. I don't think it's possible for anyone to reach the level of hypocrite that would be required for this to be the authentic, real Joe Biden. And here's basically what I mean. The same guy who said at one of his State of the Unions that we should only need fossil fuels for about another 10 years also said this.
The energy epicenter of the world by 2030 will be North America. It will not be Saudi Arabia, it will be North America. We produce more gas and oil than any other country in the world, and we will be energy independent by 2031, and North America will be energy independent by the mid-2020s. So again, we need all modes of transportation. We need to modernize it in order to compete.
You got to remember, man, that was back when we all thought that he was just some sort of blowhard gaff machine, right? I mean, how amazing is it to look back and just basically wish that we could just have the same old stupid and incompetent Joe Biden back? I mean, what an improvement that would be. But we don't have stupid, incompetent Joe. I mean, we have cognitively struggling, allegedly corrupt Joe Biden, man, and we are in big, big trouble. And guys, I'm convinced, I think we could probably find videos of Joe himself warning modern day shell of himself Joe about every single mistake that he has made, but he's making them anyway. Joe Biden, as bad as he always was, is far worse now. I mean, it's just as bad as he could. Well, it could probably get worse. I don't know how that's possible, but it probably could. But really, the only possibility is that he just doesn't know what he's doing anymore. He's just doing what he's told. He's saying what they put in front of him to read. He's signing what they put in front of him to sign. It's the only way to explain how dramatically his positions have shifted, man. In just a few years, 8 years ago, talking about American energy independence and North America, being the largest producer of energy in the world, to what we have today. And energy is not the outlier, man. The guy, he was always a moderate, so they told us. He was a stupid moderate, but I believe that he was still a moderate, But take abortion, for example. Before he was making the sign of the cross at abortion rallies, he actually sounded halfway reasonable.
I do not view abortion as a choice and a right. I think it's always a tragedy, and I think that it should be rare and safe. And I think we should be focusing on how to limit the number of abortions, and they ought to be able to have a common ground and consensus as to do that.
It's just not the same person, man. And there has to be a real reason why. There has to be an explanation, And now, whatever that explanation is, I promise you, there's no good explanation. He's either corrupt or compromised in some way. He's either that or the world's largest hypocrite, or his brain just doesn't work. None of these are good options, but every single possible option is ignored. No one in the corporate media will ask any serious questions about how a guy who told us that our Afghanistan surrender needed to happen and that it was actually a success is also the same guy that actually said this.
And it makes a big difference to tell the American people the truth about what our options are in ending this war. If tomorrow the order goes out from I'm President of the United States, I issue an order, end the war today, begin to withdraw all American troops. It will take a year to get the American troops out. Do you hear me now? That's the truth. It will take a year to get them physically out. Now, if you leave all the equipment behind, you might be able to do it in 7 months. And you leave those billions of dollars of weapons behind, I promise they're going to be used against your grandchild and mine someday.
Yeah, it turns out, Joe Biden wasn't always wrong. Broken clocks, blind squirrels, and Joe Biden, every once in a while, they nail it, man. And that, that may actually be the one and only foreign policy original thought that he ever got right. It's crazy. I mean, it's a shame, that we got to the point where he forgot every bit of what he believed, and he literally signed the death warrants of 13 brave Americans and who knows how many Afghans, right? And those are the lucky Afghans, because the ones that are still there are currently basically living as starving slaves, and the whole thing is disgraceful. And the only people that ever have anything to say about it, they find a way to blame Donald Trump. It's also freaking incredibly remarkable, man. I mean, what else was Joe Biden right about?
It is well over $3 a gallon in most of our constituencies, and we're paying that money, in my view, because we lack an energy policy.
Again, man, this is not the same person. No one on the planet is that hypocritical. I mean, the man, he was given power and is now literally being elder abused. And honestly, to allow any of this to continue, it is elder abuse. Every single doctor, every single staffer, the first lady, his kids, anyone and everyone who has seen this dude shuffling around the White House is culpable. They are to blame. Every single one of them is to blame. But Joe Biden, honestly, I think she's a special kind of evil. But anyway, aggravating stuff. That's just my take, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you haven't already, be a part of our growth. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. I'll see you in the next one.